First of all, I think this statement is generalizing, and um, that part I won't buy into just because it's too general. The other thing is when people say, women of today or this generation, I think we have to step back a little bit and look at history and look at culture. If you go way back in time, relationships back then were not really about love. It wasn't about attraction. It was about, you know, providing. And a lot of women were at home cooking, nurturing, taking care of the kids. When the men were the ones bringing home the bacon per se and providing for them. So I think we do have to go back and speak on the facts. And the facts is we're not coming from a culture, initially a culture where people fell in love and they got together for love. I've even heard my elders say, you can get with people and learn to love them because he's a good man and he provides and he can take care of us, and he makes sure that the house is taken care of, the bills are paid. There's nothing wrong with that. That was the culture. Those were the positions men were in at the time and women were in at the time. So fast forward to today, when women want to get things from men and women want to have these grand gestures, I don't think it's a woman thing. I don't think it's a woman of today thing. I think it's always been there, right? The other thing is, for me personally, I can only speak on myself. I can't speak on women as a whole. I want to see what type of man you are as a human, right? I want to see what type of character you have. I want to know your values. I want to know your principles. Those things are very important to me. But the gestures come from what type of man you are. Those gestures do show up, and it's not that you're buying me a car. It's how thoughtful you are. It's how considerate you are. And it doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't have to be something over the top. It could be, I'm not feeling well right now, and you're calling me, or you remember that it was my grandmother's birthday. And I think we automatically thought that it had to be something over the top and crazy. Not necessarily, but that thoughtfulness and that consideration is a part of what type of man he is. And those gestures do come out. And guess what? It's okay if you have a good man and you are in a healthy relationship and you like that your man buys you gifts. It's okay that you like that your man is doing nice things for you because, like Andrea said, that's also a love language. People talk about love languages all the time, love people in their love language. And for some people, acts of service, some people it's getting, receiving, or giving gifts. I'm one of those people. I'm always giving. I love buying stuff for people. That's just what I do. But is it okay? Or I mean, is there something wrong with a woman saying, you know what, I like things? No, there's nothing wrong with liking things. But no,
So,
we're not putting that over the man.
all right, so we going to Paris. But if I was to take a pull away from what y'all said, are you saying that all gestures, even if they're non financial, are appreciated, but y'all have an extra appreciation for financial gifts? Is that the sentiment that you're trying to make? No?
Is
Okay.
that the
All right, let's go to
sentiment that I'm
Paris.
trying to make?
No, a
Not
gesture
you
is a gesture.
specifically, in general. So are you using a gesture as a fine? Because I like when you guys talked about you say calling your grandmother or doing something sweet in regards to you, and I think Andrea used another example of something that wasn't particularly monetary, but you also highlighted the fact that monetary gifts are of a valid importance. So y'all think about that while we go to Paris, and then we'll come back.
Um, a lot of information, a lot of it inaccurate. Love has been around since the point of time. Romeo and Juliet was a love story founded around 1596. It's been here. It's love has never been
I'm
ostracized.
not saying it didn't
No,
exist.
I can cut anybody off, man. I
No,
promise I will.
I just wanted to interject. I didn't say it didn't
I know.
exist at
I know
all.
you
And you just
Oh,
mentioned
let
one
I
person. You
didn't cut
mentioned one
nobody off.
relationship.
Like
let's get
I
her full
heard
thought out. We're gonna get the full
what
thoughts out.
about me. I may not reiterate exactly what a person says, but nothing nobody says go over my head. I'm very intelligent, and I heard what I heard to respond to what I heard, even if it wasn't directly what was said, right? Because paraphrasing and interpretation are things in conversation as well as literature. So with that being said, love has always been something in the basis of marriage, and women didn't work because there was no room for us to work. We are just now in the most recent revolution, which is the technological revolution. And previous to that, it was the industrial revolution. We just came into it. Like the technological revolution ain't even 30 years old. It's not. So with that being said, like, I also don't believe acts of service is a real thing, because there's not anything in specifics to acts of service that no one person doesn't do. We all do acts of service. I mean, love languages. We all give gifts. We all do acts of services. We all like physical touch. Like all of those things, there may be a preference for you, but that don't mean that everybody don't do those things. The issue is, it's not the fact that women don't like these things, or if women should be demonized for a man treating them nice. It's more so the fact that women act unimpressed with shit that he can do for anybody, as opposed to he specifying what you like specifically. So we try to tailor it to say, oh, well, instead of you taking me to coffee, you have to take me to a 5-star restaurant. Well, if every woman is requiring him to take her to a 5-star restaurant, what about that is impressive? He's just doing what he's been socialized to do, the same as men who used to bring us flowers and candy. That's just a socialization. So all women are doing is changing the metrics of what is deemed to socialize women into being wooed, when in actuality, it's not special. That's exactly what he was saying in the video. So if you're going to make it special, you take time to engage with a person. Me, I like things monogram. I love jewelry. So if a man is truly interested in me, he'd find me anything with my name on it that is some significance. And then he'd also give me jewelry, earrings, a watch, bracelet, an anklet, rings. Those are the things that I like. But in regards to dating, everybody's trying to justify why a man should spend a big ass bill. But if he did it for you, he can do it for me. It makes no sense. That's why I says nobody's impressed by this. We keep trying to justify why men should go out, spend all this type of money. Okay, now what? What did he do for you that was so special, so unique? What did he do that made you feel like, oh, I'm the girl that he actually likes? He cares about me. Nothing about that was done to signify his interest in you. He just was socialized to do something in a real extraordinary way that he can do for any woman. And I think that's the really the point we should be taking from this.